Why am I still single? Now, I know if you've been single for a while, you've had family and friends ask you repeatedly, why are you still single? When are you getting married? But I think the game changer is when you start asking yourself this question, right? I am a conscious relationship coach, Kath Naidu, been coaching for over 22 years, and I am so passionate and so committed to helping smart, successful, professional women find love and create epic relationships. If you're going to be in a relationship, you might as well make it epic. So today we're talking about why you're still single. So you may be saying, I have so much to offer. I'm smart, I'm successful, I'm independent, I can take care of myself. Where are all the good men? Are all the good ones taken? Why can't I find love? I've got so much to give. You could be in a place where you're just tired of the endless dating and texting, but never really getting into a relationship. You may be feeling right now that it's just been a huge waste of your time, your energy, and money. Now, some of the obvious reasons that you are still single, and I'd like you to actually start counting and keeping check of each one here that is relevant to you. Firstly, you could be the best kept secret. And what I mean by that is nobody knows that you're single, that you're available, that you're looking for love, that you have so much to offer. Nobody knows, right? So you're a homebody, it's between work, gym, home, and that's your life. You have the same group of people you hang out with. So nobody knows. You're the best kept secret. You're not meeting any new people. You could be saying, I'm just too busy. Life is too hectic. I've got too much on my plate. I don't have the time to go out and find that partner. But you're really feeling that loneliness, and you really, a part of you really wants that companionship, right? Human beings are built for connection. So we want that. You could be saying, I don't know where to find the right people. I meet people, but I'm meeting people that are not compatible with me. You could have a fear of rejection. So a part of you is afraid that, what if I put myself out there and, I hook up with a Tinder swindler? Or what if, I put myself out there and nobody wants to date me? So it's the rejection. We're afraid of that. Maybe you have a fear of getting hurt again. Look, if you're a human being, you've been hurt before in the past, right? And you could be looking at it and saying, my partner decided to fall in love with somebody else. My partner didn't see me, he didn't acknowledge me, didn't respect me. Maybe there was some abuse, whatever. When we feel all of that hurt from past relationships, then we don't really want to move forward as freely. You could be on some of the online dating apps and feeling, oh, this is so superficial. You're looking at faces and swiping right or left. Um, but some of the not so obvious reasons, and I want you to keep counting, right? So the not so obvious reasons you're still single is you could be putting out mixed signals. So at one point you're saying, I'm ready to meet somebody. And then on the other hand, something comes up, you've got a commitment here, a new project at work, and you say, oh, now's not the right time. I'm too busy. That I'll have to put that on hold. So you see, it's like you're sending mixed signals out to the universe. Yes, no, the universe doesn't know what to do with you. You could be in a comfort zone. Now, with most independent women, you have your own space, you've got your own home, and you may have set everything up just the way you like it. Your bedroom is designed a certain way, your lounge, your kitchen. You may have a certain lifestyle. Like these days, I'm at the gym. These days, I'm with my friends. These days, I'm with family. So, this is what I do on my weekends. You may have that lifestyle in your home so comfortable that you start thinking if I let someone in, are they going to mess with this? Right? Because I'm really comfortable and I really like what I've created. That could be one of the reasons you're still single. The next one is you could be swinging on this pendulum, just like the ready, not ready. You could be going high expectation. I'm ready, like, especially around New Year, we have this where I'm so ready to meet somebody new. This is my year for love. And you have these high expectations that this is what's going to happen this year. You're going to put yourself out there, you're going to meet people, you're going to date, you're going to find the one, you're going to get into a relationship. And then you meet a couple of people and it's just not what you expected. And you go to the other extreme, which is complacency, where you say, I give up, I'm done, no more. I delete all these apps and I'm just okay on my own, right? So you're swinging from one end to the other. Another reason that is not so obvious is maybe you don't like who you become in relationships. And what I mean by that is on your own, your life is peaceful, you're very confident, you're in your genius zone at work, so you have the respect, you have, the companionship of your coworkers and so on. But when you get into a relationship, something about you changes. And you could get anxious. For example, you send a text message and like 30 minutes has gone by and he hasn't replied, or he's read it, but he hasn't replied, and you start getting anxious and worked up. Or you could be the jealous type. You're wondering, oh, he's texting and smiling, like, who is that? Who is he talking to now? Maybe you get jealous, right? Maybe you pick people and you pick them for their potential rather than who they are. And you want to fix them and you want to make them into somebody that's better. Or maybe you turn into a people pleaser, right? So because of this, you don't like who you become in relationships. Could be a reason that you're blocking that relationship from coming in. The next reason is maybe you still believe in the fairy tale. So the fairy tale is one day I'm going to meet the perfect man. We're going to fall in love and live happily ever after. Now, as lovely as that sounds, that fairy tale is dead. And if we believe in that fairy tale, that means we're not doing the work, we're not learning, we're not saying, maybe the way I've been doing things and what I'm expecting is not working. So maybe I have to learn another way of doing this. Imagine in your work situation if you were ready for a job and you said, oh, if it's meant to be, it will be, the perfect job will come along. And if you just did nothing, you took no action and you waited and waited for that job to appear, chances are you'd still be waiting and you wouldn't be where you are today. So when it comes to relationships, why is it so different? Right? It is the conditioning of the fairy tale that keeps us stuck in non-action. The next one, this is true of almost every human being. It's a lack of worthiness. And what happens here is as we grow up, very often we get criticized, we get scolded, we get told, why did you do this? You should have done that way. Sometimes we feel I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not confident enough for, and because of all of these things that's coming at us, and then we're creating these thoughts within ourselves, we feel a lack of worthiness, right? It has nothing to do with confidence. Sometimes I meet people who are really successful and very, very confident, but still have a sense of or a lack of worthiness within them, right? So that could be one of the reasons. Another one could be past trauma. So when we've had trauma in the past, we've been cheated on or we lost a partner to illness or an accident, maybe there was abuse there. And if we haven't healed and dealt with all of that, then we kind of have a shield up in front of us and we're not really letting love in. So that could be another reason. The next one is that We have really disconnected. The more social media we have, the more technology we have, we seem to be communicating with people, but not really connecting. And the lockdown did not help in the least, because now more than ever, we are disconnected from other people. And we've also disconnected from ourselves. Now, very few people during the lockdown decided, hey, this is time for me to spend on myself, discover who I am, what is it that I want in life, and really put the focus on their personal development. But the majority of people were cooking and baking and binge watching Netflix, and our attention was out there. It wasn't really internal to take ourselves to the next level or closer to our fullest potential, right? So maybe there's a disconnect. And the next reason is that you really don't know what you want. Everybody says, I want a partner that's good looking, that's financially stable, that is, the tall, dark, and handsome, all of that. That's honest. And we all say the same things, but you're a unique person. And what you require in a partner is as unique as you are. So maybe we haven't really stopped, taken the time, looked within and said, let me really, really understand me and understand what it is I want. And then, of course, maybe you don't know how to attract love into your life. Another reason that you could be still single is maybe you're playing the waiting game. So, what are you waiting for? Maybe you're waiting for closure from a past relationship. Somebody hurt you, and you're waiting for them to apologize, to make things right, or maybe you hurt somebody and you haven't yet apologized to them or asked forgiveness, right? So, maybe you're waiting for closure. Maybe you're waiting for the one. There is that one perfect person. So everybody you meet, you have this long list of expectations from a partner. And when you look at that, you say, okay, this one's got 8 out of 10. No. This one's got 9 out of 10. No. So you're waiting for that person that's going to be a 10 out of 10 on your list. And let's be honest, we're not perfect, right? So how can we expect perfection from another person? You could be playing the waiting game where you say, I have to lose this 10 kg first, and then I'll get into a relationship. Or I'm waiting for the kids to finish school or finish university, and then I'll get into a relationship. Or I'm in the middle of this degree, I want to further my studies. When I'm finished, when I graduate, then I'll get into a relationship. Or I'm waiting for this promotion, then. Or I have some renovations to do at home. When I've done that, then I will get into a relationship, right? So all of these things is you playing the waiting game. And sometimes we can get into that mode and the months turn into years. And it's always we're waiting for the next thing to happen before we get into a relationship. Now, if you've recognized some of those things as, yes, that is me, yes, that is me, yes, that is me, right? So you know that these are the blocks that's preventing love from coming to you. So sometimes people say to me, oh no, I don't have any blocks. I just haven't met the right person. So I'm gonna be a little bit in your face and say that's not true. Because if you are here and that blissful relationship you're looking for is here, if there was nothing in your way, you'd already be there. You'd already be in that relationship, right? That man would already be sitting next to you on the couch watching Netflix and eating popcorn. But if it's not yet in your life, that means there's a gap here and there's something in the way. Now, these blocks that are in the way could be mental blocks, like we're saying, all the good ones are taken, men only want one thing, all men cheat. So if we're saying these things, these are mental blocks preventing the love of your life from coming in. It could be emotional blocks, like when we've been really hurt, and we're feeling those emotions of the grief or the anger or frustration, or we're feeling fear or guilt or blame. These are all low frequency emotions. And as long as you are holding on to any of those emotions, it's preventing love from coming in, because these emotions are a very low frequency and love is a very high frequency. And these are like parallel lines, they're never going to meet, right? So we need to find those emotional blocks, release those emotional blocks so that we can raise our frequency to the frequency of love. And that is when love comes in. Right? And the third kind of block is the behavioral blocks. Now, this could be in the way you show up, in the way you're holding your head down, you don't make eye contact with anybody, you're frowning and you're not smiling, you're not showing an energy that you are open for somebody to actually approach you and start a conversation, right? Now, this is the absolute key. So you have the door, you see the door, maybe there was some debris in front of it and a creeper along the door. When we find and release the blocks, it's getting rid of all those creepers and all that debris. And now you're standing in front of the door. And the absolute key to open this door is raising your self-worth and self-love. Now, when you get to a point and you know your worth, you don't have any doubts in that. You know, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer, and this is what I'm asking for. You will never settle for less than what it is you want when you know your worth. And the self-love, when you get to that point, when you fall in love with yourself, in love with your life, in love with who you are and what you bring to the world, at that point, that door is now wide open. It's like there's a light goes on inside of you, and suddenly you are visible. When all the blocks are in the way, that right man for you could be living on the next street. He could be working in the same building. He could be shopping in the same supermarket as you, but you don't see him and he does not see you. But once you release yourself of all these blocks and you fall in love with yourself, now you're giving off a very different energy. Now you are visible, right? And this is how we attract love to us. You're going to open that door also by taking 100% responsibility for your love life. We cannot hand that over to anybody else. If you want a new job, a new house, a new car, a new outfit, you don't just hand that over to somebody else to go and find it for you. You get in there, you know what you want, you go after it, and you make that happen. So your love life has to be the same. You have to take 100% responsibility for it, because nobody else understands the loneliness that you feel, the sadness, the yearning for that love, that right partner, or sometimes just a hug when you're feeling down, right? Or someone to celebrate with when you have something joyful to share. Nobody that's in a relationship understands that, right? If they were there once, they've forgotten. So this is you, and you've got to stand up and say, if I want this life, then it's up to me. I've got to take responsibility for it. Also be willing to learn, because the way you've done it in the past hasn't worked. Let's try a new way. All right. You cannot be the same person going into a new relationship that you were when you went into your last relationship. Because if you're the same person, you're going to create the same relationship, just with a different person. And this idea of learning, growing, it's a journey. It doesn't happen. I sometimes hear people say, oh, no, I don't need a course because I've been to therapy. You've been to therapy and it was for that time in your life dealing with that particular issue, and it got you from point A to point B. And when you want to do something new in your life, step up to your greatest potential, then there's something more for you to learn, right? So when you open yourself up to that, I want to find out, who am I? What is it that I want? What is it that I'm capable of? Where is it that I need to learn some skills in relationships, right? And always be open and willing to learn. And the last one here is learn to trust yourself. When you have that strong sense of self-worth, and you are so in love with yourself, you'll start to trust yourself a whole lot more. That means you will be able to take a risk. Because look, falling in love, getting into a relationship, it is a risk. It is a risk that at some point you could get hurt. But when that trust in yourself is there and it's strong, you know that no matter what happens, you can handle it, right? Because the other side of it is you're going to be alone for how long? So if what I've shared with you so far gels with you and you feel, hey, this is speaking to me, I'm at that point, I want to call in the love of my life. I want to introduce you to a program that I have called Radical Self-Love, Calling in the Love of Your Life. And what we do on this program is we get your relationship ready in 30 days, right? So it's putting your love life on project status. It's shining a light on it for those 4 weeks. First, it's to find and remove those blocks to love, right? Remember, I spoke about emotional, mental, behavioral blocks. Find them, remove them, get them out of the way. So we open up the way from where you are to that epic relationship. And then we go into this practice of radical self-love. And when you get to that point, you feel completely differently about who you are. And people in your life will start noticing that there's something different about you. Then from that place of self-love, from that place, then we create the vision of this epic relationship that you want to create with somebody special. And once we've got the vision, the clarity in place, then we work on aligning your energy with the energy of this relationship. So remember, I said that the frequency of love is extremely high. We can't be in this place where we are dealing with fear and uncertainty and doubt and all of that. We've got to raise that frequency up to the frequency of love. And then once we align that energy, it will be easy to let the love of your life in. So the challenge to every person that comes onto the program is that they're going to go on a date within that 30 days, right? So you're going to apply what you're learning in the program. It's very practical. So you learn and you apply each week. And also, you're not doing this alone because it's a group of women, and now you have a community of people that are on the same page as you, that understand where you're at and where you're going. You'll have accountability buddies within the program. So you're holding each other accountable, and you're observing each other's journey. You're learning from each other. You're practicing the material. And it's such a lovely energy when you know that you have this kind of support on your journey. So don't let this be you. It's easy to say, I'm just so busy, I don't have the time, I'm too scared to put myself out there. And then the months turn into years, and suddenly you realize, where do I go now to find somebody? I've spent most of my life alone. Where do I go? Rather let this be you. Imagine waking up in the morning and your partner is right there next to you. You're cuddling with your partner and you're feeling the love and the connection. Maybe you're having breakfast together before you go off to work. Or maybe, you're relaxing over the weekend, watching a movie and talking. You could be traveling. You've got a family function coming up. Your partner's right there with you. You have a work event. Your partner's right there, right? You have something to celebrate. There's your partner right there. Having a stressful day, your partner's there maybe to rub your shoulders, give you a massage, run a bath, right? You could be cooking a meal together. You could be planning your life, planning your holidays, finding a home together, building this life. This could be you, and that choice is yours, right? So the Radical Self-Love Program is a 4-week program. It runs on a Monday evening, so once a week times 4 weeks, 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the evening. It usually starts the first Monday of each month. And the cost of it is 2,900 Rand. Or if you have a friend that wants to do the program with you, then it's 4,800 Rand for 2 people, which means you're saving 500 Rand each. You can do this on your own because I've told you now, there's the blocks And there's the keys to letting love in, right? So you could do that on your own, but really, do you have that amount of time to waste? This is a 30-day program. Within 30 days, the challenge is to get you on a date with your ideal kind of person, right? There's a lot of free stuff that I got out. I have a YouTube channel called Creating Epic Relationships. It's got over 60 videos on there. You can join our Facebook group as well. It's called the Love Evolution, because I think it's time. I think it's time that we focused on love again. We brought it into our lives. We opened up our hearts. We give and receive love more openly. And when we do, it's not just the relationship with our significant other that it impacts. It impacts every single relationship in your life, even impacts your finances, right? Um, this is just some of the stuff that people on the current program have been saying, recognizing self-worth, acting on it, grateful for being on the program and clarifying, more confidence, other people noticing the difference. And it's really wonderful, when other people start noticing, that's when you know something in your energy is changing. So if your family and friends are noticing there's something different about you, now you know that the love of your life is going to notice you because you are different. Who the heck is Cass Naidu and what the hell do I know about relationships anyway, right? So that's me with my daughter there, and those two there at the bottom are my two little bosses. So I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm a coach for over 22 years. I've been interviewed on various radio stations as a relationship expert. I had my YouTube channel that's got over 60 videos. I've written over 50 articles. I regularly get asked by journalists for expert opinion on relationships. So I'm really committed to helping you find love and create your most epic relationship. If you feel that you're ready for it now and you're ready to take the next step and you're ready to join our next group, then drop me an email. It's info@nextlevelup.co.za. I sincerely hope you will join our next group. The ladies that are on the group are experiencing such fabulous results and shifts from it. So join us and I'll see you soon. Take care.